And welcome to the second part of this video. So in this part we are going to do some more stuff to our scene. Let me just open it quickly. Okay, so first thing we need to do is to make this scene more cartoony. So first part, Makai, make scene more cartoony. Then we will add some lights. So light setup, then some material setup. At the end we are going to add some lights. Okay, so this is plan for today's video. So let's start with make this scene more cartoony. Let me open scene from yesterday. So this is what we have done so far, but we want to make this scene more cartoony. To do that, we are going to add some chamfer edges like we did for the sofa. So we can hide sofa and start from floor. Okay, so we added some chamfer to the floor. We are going to copy this and paste to the wall. We have some bad shading here, and we are going to delete these bottom faces, and that is all fixed now. So this is finished. Let's go to the coffee table. Also just paste, and we are going to reduce this chamfer amount. We need to fix this chamfer parts, and we are going to do that with minimum angle. So if we put bigger angle, we are going to fix that. Okay, that is for the coffee table. I will not do anything with the legs. I'm just going to hide them. And for the carpet, we are going to make it a little bit thicker and also paste that chamfer and weight normal. And we are going to reduce amount. Same for the door. Maybe smaller amount on this one. Okay, and that's it for the TV stand. We're going to hide legs. We don't need this for the curtain, but we can chamfer this window, maybe a little bit smaller, something like that. And for the TV, now since this is already chamfered, but the chamfer is too small, we are going to make this bevel a little bit bigger. So we are going to scale this this face, and now we can add bigger chamfer. Actually, we need to move this a little bit further, something like that. Chamfer, and this should be good. Okay, so now we have our faces, our objects chamfered, and now scene should look like it's cartoony. You want to make it more cartoony, I mean in this style with the chamfered edges. You can, for example, make this bigger and maybe add bigger chamfer, you will have a table that is more cartoony. Also, this is too small. Maybe I can change this, for example, something like this, and bigger chamfer, and that will be okay for now. Okay, so that was part 1. Make scene more cartoony. Now, lights setup. For lights, we are going to first we are going to add some HDRI map. So to do that, we are going to open Slate Material Editor, and we are going to open a rendering tab. We are going to choose environment. This is on default, so this will be empty. You need to click here, type HDRI environment, and choose your environment map. You can use your own or you can use the one that came with 3ds Max Arnold renderer. So I will choose combination room because I'm mostly using this one, and we are going to drag and drop it here so we can edit rotation and some more stuff. Okay, we don't need the environment tab anymore, but we will need Arnold render view. Now when we click on display button, it will start active shade rendering, and we can see our scene and how this would look in our final render. So first thing that I'm going to do is to put background blur to 10, and then I'm going to rotate this environment by 90 degrees. You can do 180 or 110, but for this scene I think 90 degrees looks best. And for exposure, if you want to make something like a night scene, you can lower exposure to, for example, -3 or -10 if you want. It will be completely dark probably. -1 is still like a day, but I will put -3 because this scene is going to be something like night scene. And for contrast, I can put, for example, 1.3. And we have our base light setup. What is next? More light setup. Okay. Now we are going to add some materials to the our objects that we created. So we can do this. We are going to select object that we want, or you can select it here if you want. So for example, I want to select this wall, and then I can create new material. I will use PVR because it's faster to render and more simpler, and I will just assign it to this wall. Now I can add some colors and roughness and metalness and so on. Let's say 1.7, because we don't want this wall to be shiny, like it's some kind of glass or metal or something like that. And maybe give it some color. Maybe something like this, I don't know. It's okay for now, we can change it later. Okay, next would be floor. For floor, we can copy this, but we need to rename it and assign it to the floor. Now we can, for the floor, we can go with some wood color, for example, something that looks like wooden floor, and we can make it more shiny to get some nice reflection on it from the models in the scene. Maybe we can also take same material for door and floor, a door and a window. I think it's okay. Now for this, I can also put this window just for now. We can change it later. And now we will need some transparent material for this curtain, and we are going to do this by adding some more lights in the scene. So you go to lights and choose Arnold lights and just create one. Now we need to place it where we want it to be, so we can rotate it something like this and maybe put it over here so it creates some light from the window, for example some moonlight, maybe something like this. You can play with this and see which one looks better. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so now it doesn't look like anything because probably density is too small. So let's try with 500, and now we can see some light on the edge of the window, but it doesn't go through the curtain. So for curtain we are going to make new material and give it some transparency, for example 0.6, and reduce roughness to almost 1. Okay, this is looking good, except for that light moonlight that should be something like bluish color. So we are going to make this light blue. And sometimes Arnold active shade will not update when you change a light color, so you need to stop active shade and then start it again. Okay, now we have our moonlight, but we don't have any shadows here. I mean, we have shadows, but I want to make them more stronger. So one thing we can do is only thing we can do is to change spread value to, for example, 0.2. Let's see what happens if we put it to 0. So as you can see, you will get some stronger shadows, but I need to rotate it maybe more. Okay, so maybe this looks cool, and we are going to change spread value to maybe 0.3 because we don't need shadows to be that hard. And I think this is starting to look very cool. You don't think I get it, but I think, because I made it. Let's put 0.2. Yeah, looks much better. Next thing that we can do is to make this TV look more like TV. So we can select it here and assign it to new material that needs to be black and glossy, so maybe 0.2, and that would be for the plastic part of the TV. But for the screen we can make new material and select this face that represents a screen and make new material for it, and that material is going to be also black, but less glossy, something like this. Okay. One thing you can also do to pop colors more is to add color correct, and in main saturation change this to 1.2 should be enough, but let's try 1.5. Let's try 2. Let's try 10. So also with these saturation levels you can change the look of your final render if you want to make something more abstract, or in this case cartoony. So I think 3 is going to be okay for now. Now we can finish all other assets here, for example this couch. Let's make new material for couch and make it something like orange yellowish, something like this, and roughness maybe 0.3, like it's some kind of leather or something like that. We can assign it also to the pillows. Now for the carpet, we can go maybe with some white color. I think white would be okay, just to set roughness to maybe 0.9. And for table, we can go with some maybe bright wood, something like this, and give it maybe roughness 0.2, so it will also be glossy, so we can see some reflection from the window. And we can do the same for assign the same material for the TV stand, and we can leave these small doors white and make it more glossy. This is a setup I mostly use for all of my isometric rooms. Sometimes I will use textures instead of simple shaders, but it's same concept for every other scene. Or is it? Okay, so let's see. Material setup, just final render. Okay, we did all 4 of these steps, and now we can actually, you can play with some with adding more stuff. For example, maybe some ways with the flowers, or maybe remote control on this table. Some lamp here, you can make this smaller and put some lamp over here. Door knobs. And for the end, let me show you how to put some neon lights, actually LED lights, behind this TV. So let's save this scene first. Let's hide everything but TV. And now you have several options. One of the options is to make other light, and my scene has crashed. Okay, cancel. I need to start 3ds Max again. So if you want, for example, a tutorial for something like this, or I don't know, any other stuff, this is some of the stuff I have made, you can post in the comments, and I can show you how to make 3D models for the games. Okay, let's start this once again. Let's try to make new light again. Okay. So we want to make some LED lights behind the TV. One of the options is to put some light, some quad light, and make this shape something like this, and put it close to the TV. Okay, so let's try and see how this looks. We need to move TV maybe further from the wall, and we can see our light that is looking really ugly for now, but we can select it, okay, and reduce this maybe to 20, because now it is too strong, and hide it maybe a little more behind the TV. And spread, yes, we need to enter spread value to 1, so we get more spread at the light. Okay, so this would be one option, and now you can of course copy that light to the lower part, but before that we can add some stronger blue color. We need to update this. And now we can copy that light to the lower part, and also we can copy one on the side of the TV. and reduce this to maybe to fit behind our TV, and one on this side. This one can go a little bit further down, for example something like this, so we can see it better, and you have your LED behind your TV. So that is one of the ways you can do this. The other way, I'm going to delete 3 of these, and I'm going to leave this one and change it to mesh. Now what this does is that let's just wait until it updates. Okay, so we have our mesh light. What this light does is, I'm going to show you now. So we have our TV, and we can make some simple mesh, something like this plane for example, and put it behind the TV. Now this light, you have option to, when you put it to mesh, you can select mesh that you want, and now this mesh will emit that light, as you can see. Let's make this a little bit stronger, for example 200, and you can see now we have light over here. We can, I'm going to rotate this light so it is turned to the wall, and now we can fix this, give it some shell maybe, and we have our mesh that will emit light. I don't know what this is, but you didn't see that. And this line and this, probably because it's too close to the wall or something like that. Okay, let's turn to those 4 LED lights because they are looking much better. Okay, and if you want some light from the TV screen, you can also do that with a mesh light. So we are going to select this face and detach it, and now we are going to select this face again and create new light. I'm just going to copy this one because I have some issues with creating new lights in 3ds Max, and go to mesh, none, select this screen, and when you render you will have a light emitting from your screen. Today, let's go. Let's put this somewhere to maybe 500, and you have now light from your TV, which is great. But this is looking still ugly because we will need some image for this screen. So let me find one quickly. This is material for our screen. We are going to set this to white, and for base color we are going to type bitmap, use bitmap, and then find image that we want. I'm going to take one from my desktop because I didn't prepare one. This is some SUV that I was working on, and we can see image, but it is too dark, so we need to take this same image and drag and drop it to emission. Actually here to emission. We can remove this, and we have our image on the screen. Now let's see what would happen if we disable this mesh light. As you can see, it also looks okay, but it doesn't give you that light from the TV LEDs. So we can reduce this to something like 100 maybe even more, 50, more, 20, 30. Okay. And we have our simple isometric room. Scene is looking maybe too simple because I have added not many stuff in here, but feel free to make, for example, some picture frames. Over here. Two picture frames. I'm going to edit them at the same time. Select these two faces, inset, and then extrude, and then add some chamfer and weighted normals, and we have our pictures without materials, of course. So let's see, we can put some of the materials we already have in our scene. So for the frame we can go with maybe this bright wood, and I'm going to select this face and give it black color, white color. Also I can do for this one, actually I'm going to just copy this one, it's much easier. And we have our pictures on the walls without any pictures. Something like that. Maybe it's too big, so I can scale it a little bit. Maybe make this one some other shape and something like this. Let's see how this looks. Perfect. And that's it for your scene, for your base scene. For saturation I can reduce this to maybe 2, maybe 10. Let's see how it looks with 10. Crazy, I mean crazy, but I think 3 is okay. What we can also do is maybe open this door a little bit, something like this, but it is hiding our TV, and put some light behind this door. And have some light coming through from the other room. Something like that. And this looks cool. So this is it for this first tutorial. You can download this scene from my Patreon page, and you can follow me on Instagram. Links are in description. Thanks for watching, and bye.